something feels a little bit off. And just quickly double check. If the volume is too high or too low, let me know. Just for the VODs on YouTube, I did just ask the Twitch chat, so if they lie to me, then you're gonna have a bad time. This one game was match stats rated, but the other games were unrated. They just forgot that they'd left the ratings on for this one game. So the most vigilant ones might have spotted this game, but the rest is completely unranked and the records were sent to me. So, Britons and Mongols. Mongols maybe not such a great pick in recent times, having a look at all the recent games and just seeing what says generally seem to win. Mongols is definitely not up there. Brins though, Brins is an absolute powerhouse civ. Of course the booming is quite important, as well as the aggression and the imperial power spikes. Especially if you get Lombos. I mean, Lombos are actually not too bad against things like Aztecs, if you're that way inclined. So Feanor, Timo as well, not the best choice of woodline, but that is a lot of trees to cap before it comes inefficient, so that's not a huge problem. Looking at his map as a brains, considering he has the possibility to add extra TCs, he might want to go Lombos, might even want to open Lombos. The stone, main stone, not so great. I mean, it's okay. If there's any forward aggression, it's really going to be in this area, especially going to be focusing on the gold. It's not going to be focusing on the stone. It's also a decent amount of, distance away from the walls. It's not too bad. It's just not particularly back. Second stone is outside, so not too worth talking about there. Main gold, not so good at all. That's probably the main pressure point that the Mongol player is going to be pressuring on, especially with the extra scout sight. He's going to be able to see that quite easily, quite early on. Second gold outside, not really worth talking about. Other second gold inside, which is going to be quite nice. It's always nice when you have TCs, just add them on a back stone. When you're Britons, you could do like essentially what other civs would do a 1TC aggression with if you were trying to do something like, I don't know, C-Star expose map control, and then just try and transition that into a forward really quickly. You could always add a TC as Britons, where other civs couldn't. It's a really nice little booming feature you could have. Extra gold in the back as well. I guess it's okay if you 6 TC or something there, but it's not the best for a mining camp. Not too bad though, having the extra gold in the back is always very, very helpful, as well as a second. So this map's pretty good here, but I would prefer to see a bit more stone for a Britain player. Over here we have GoldenEnd as the Mongols. Mongols maybe, I don't really know what he wants to open with. I have not seen GoldenEnd on Arena too much. I spoke to him, he said that he does enjoy a bit of Arena here and there, but he just doesn't find there's enough players to play with. Which is something I was hoping to try and change by getting him in this match. Mangadai opening maybe, I mean stone wise maybe not so great. I mean, you could always go Cav Arch, you could always go Mangadai. Against Britons, I mean, the Cav Arch can definitely pay off against, for example, crossbow aggression, crossbow map control. But he might just go scouts, he might just go into knights, he might be going for map control strategies. As Mongols, he probably wants to get away with the boom rather than going all in early aggression. And yes, it's Arena with an eye. Speaking of his main goal, pretty safe. Second goal safe as well. Decent bit of back area if he needs to boom if he gets pressured. 1 second gold outside. So pretty good on the golds, but the stones are pretty atrocious. That's the other extra gold on the map, kind of mutual, a bit closer to Feanor, and the extra stone is up here. A bit closer to GoldenEnd. If GoldenEnd gets pressured from here, maybe he can even expand up in this direction. We've seen it happen. So I'm kind of interested to see what GoldenEnd is going to do here. Of course, he's Mongols with a hunting bonus, he does have a lot of extra food. But 25 plus 2 perhaps, maybe he's even going to 24 plus 2, sell 100 stone on the way up. Maybe he's got plans, but if he's spawning up that fast, maybe booming is not... Now it looks like he's just going to stick the 2 on the gold. Pretty standard build here. Good to see GoldenEnd embracing his inner clown. Quite a lot in wood, but of course as Mongols you could afford that with such low upper pop. Brilliant player as well. What pop is he going up on? 2 farms already? Too early on gold? Perhaps he's planning to just go for crossbow map control. This is the only other way I could explain him going 2 on gold this early but not going up. GoldenEnd gonna be up. Full 2 villagers, but exactly no difference in idle time between these 2 players. This is Arena Blood now. As I was saying before, before launching this one game, I gave them the option. They could just decide between them what to pick. And if they didn't agree, they could pick Arena with Nye. And I guess they both just agreed. Oh, that hurts to see. But to be fair, I placed this kind of lump camp and then just forget about villagers like that as well. Barracks for both players. We're going to see scouts vs crossbows, I believe. Stable 1ville. Interesting. Curious to see what Feanor's plan is going to be, but adding 4 to gold, that means he probably wants to make archers on the way up, and then just crossbows after that. I'm not sure if he wants to push for that though, or if he wants to just go for the map control. This villager, for some insane reason, is...
Ready. Yay.
The pathing would always screw me on that. He doesn't have the width to build an archery range. That's not so great. Oh, he's already building one. I'm blind, never mind me, but I am curious as to why he was spam building a blacksmith with 3 villagers. Seems a bit on the inefficient side to me. GoldenEnd is probably just going to try and bid the scout for. Of course, he could always afford to take the scout fight because he's adding in scouts. Walling off inside his base really nicely. It's always nice to see players do this. Siege towers don't stand a chance when you do that kind of thing. Both players taking a fair scout fight, but I honestly think Feanor should have avoided that. At least it would be a little bit risky for him to do, because if he's going crossbows, he then doesn't have the mobility to try and snipe a monk or keep scouting really easily. Crossbows not the best for scouting. Scouts are, somehow. Feanor now getting fletching. He can say goodbye to that scout though, and you better not hold the gate open, but maybe he wants GoldenEnd to hold the gate open. Nope. GoldenEnd does notice now, now sees the crossbows. Well, the archers. I'm curious, GoldenEnd's gonna add 2 TCs very quickly, I feel. One down here and a little bit low in the wood, but he's not keeping all the gold count, he's not getting light cav. He is adding a single knight though to help clean up the crossbows. But it is going to be very hard for him to take all the relics against crossbows. He has to be quite careful. Feanor's now only up though, so he's going to add his monastery quite a bit later. If he even is. Speaking of which, where is GoldenEnd's monastery? Taking map control but not the relics. Feanor up almost a minute later, but he's going to have monks first, which is definitely an interesting one, especially if he's going to be going crossbows, because then the knights aren't going to be able to do anything against the monks as he tries to pick up the relics. Feanor adding 1 TC back here, 1 here, nothing back here yet, but that's fine either way. Bit of quick gating there. Villager count wise, GoldenEnd is 2 vills ahead. I mean, you managed to get his TC up quite early. He's now getting Bowsaw. Feanor is researching the crossbow upgrade. No Bodkin, of course, and he does have the extra +1 range because he's Britons. I think Feanor's just going to pull ahead here. Of course, he does have more TCs as well as having the monastery is going to help him in the push, but Mangonel, here we go. Okay. What did GoldenEnd manage to scout in this base? He managed to scout... He scouted the stone. Of course, he knows about this stone. He knows about the main gold. Doesn't know about the back base, but he got enough scouting in. It could be definitely a problem for GoldenEnd. I think if Feanor keeps his monk quite close to the crossbows, then he shouldn't have a problem with using the scout to take out the Mangonel. It's hard to just infinitely micro crossbows against the Mangonel, but you know, if you have something melee in there, it helps. The attack round is pretty decent there. About half killed the monk. It's not the end of the world. Monastery from our blue player. He's trying to just get monks out into the field. I don't think he's desperate to try and take the relics. He does have full map scouting, essentially. He's definitely ahead in score, but not ahead in the boom. Feanor is 3 TC still, whereas he is still 2 TC, going to be 3 soon. Well, if he builds it a bit later, when the TC's up, sure, but Feanor might be wanting to consider something along the lines of Bodkin at this point. He probably can afford it because he's got the food running the TCs and the gold and gold going for the monks. He's idling his TCs a little bit and he's no chance of affording Bodkin at this point. Oh, sorry, he's already getting it. My microphone covers perfectly where my spec overlay is. Just call me Noobcaster and I'll be done with it. And yeah, the monk's gonna get sniped, I think. No. Okay. The Mangonel should be going down here. No night convert. So scout up here and monk come over this way, so it looks like GoldenEnd is going to be able to clean up maybe these 2 relics up top here. He might even have an easy chance getting this one. Feanor has a lot of map control now though, because he has quite a large group of expos and a couple of monks to support them against the knights. Not too much GoldenEnd can do except mass more Mangonels, but the range and the brain crossbows after Bodkin being 1 higher is a bit of a problem. BTC is still running for Feanor, but he is behind in villagers. He did also research Loom, but he's now only just researching Wheelbarrow, so I'm curious. No Wheelbarrow yet from GoldenEnd. Feanor did idle his TCs for a little bit, he's still idle 1 right now. Yikes. Feanor might have 3 relics here if he could get up there with his crossbows, but I probably doubt it. He might even get his monk sniped here. He's keeping a good eye on it. He might want to drop that relic just so he can try and get a night convert. But I think he's happy just doing some sniping. What can GoldenEnd do against this? Except maybe try and land a lucky shot. He could easily lose all this just to the crossbows because there's not too much he could do about them. A little bit of a decent shot there. Not the end of the world.
Salve.
Monk from Feanor just sitting here. The light cav, they're still on probably defensive stances, protecting general areas. The monk's not going to be of too much use. You might just accept that GoldenEnd does have this relic. Feanor did pull in a third relic though. I don't really understand how GoldenEnd got so far ahead in the boom, but I reckon it's probably just because Feanor idled for enough time. He's getting uni in the back, he probably wants to consider upping soon, his resources suggest that. GoldenEnd pretty much the same. But he's building a uni, but he is not even on stone. Okay, he wants to go for skirms or something. Okay, you could already click up because obviously Siege Workshop, Monastery. So he's gonna up and make skirms? Maybe? I'm not so sure. Yeah, skirms. Maybe not the strongest option, of course you do want kind of a power unit at least somewhere in the mix. And... oh yikes. Delete the knight, delete the knight. Nope. Okay, so this is quite good for Feanor because you now see the skirmishers, which is obviously quite important. Maybe a misclick to convert the villager, but it's been done. Did stop him repairing the Maginot though, but I don't think the Maginot would survived anyway. GoldenEnd not realizing the relic's still up here. He's going to be up first though, and he's still at a villager advantage. Getting bot Kenaro, lead skirmisher, those already are going to be more than enough to deal with the crossbows. No siege from Feanor, but he's probably going to start adding forwards. Yeah, he's going to probably go like Cav. Lots of stone, but I think he's maybe going to focus a bit more into the Arbalast line. I don't think he's going to go longbows for quite some time, so he might want to consider a forward castle. He might want to build it back just simply to... he has a fat scout the stones actually, he could definitely build a castle here. Yeah, there we go. Right away. He could always build it forward to try and deny something, try and put a pressure point on, but at the same time you definitely have to consider, do you want to keep your castles back to keep them alive, to make your unique unit when you want to. Is he going to add knights? Yeah. To be fair, it's probably okay to go Cavalier. He does have a lot of gold access. He has 3 relics, obviously not the best, but he has macro control, he has access to this gold. He has this gold here, this gold here, this gold here, and while he has macro control, this gold over here is fine as well. These mining camps though, jeez. So yeah, he has a lot of gold access. It's always worth going Cavalier instead of Light Cav if you basically have the gold. I'm not entirely sure if it's worthwhile. It's probably worth it up front, just simply because that he has a good chance of winning this one right here, right now. So it's worth the investment of the gold that you might not have later, if you could win the game now by doing so. The knights are just cleaning up the skirmishers though. Skirmishers are going to go straight to the TC. GoldenEnd's playing this one quite nicely. His economy's looking okay, 100 villagers though, a little bit cramped in this area. No real room to build. He does have a lot of room for production buildings here though. He's quite low on the old farm count, he's been maybe transitioning those. And a GG from GoldenEnd. GoldenEnd might have been able to up. I think maybe he did up faster. I mean, even his own Arbalast would have actually been okay. But I just didn't agree with the skirmishers, not a power unit, probably not going to survive too easily. If he was on stone maybe a bit earlier, maybe a bit safer, would have had a castle maybe. Some guys, but just having a castle in general, the knights are not such a big problem for skirmishers to sit under. Yeah, in arena Mongols it's not a good civ. I don't see why you would pick it. It's not such a bad civ though, you could definitely win with it. Like, there's nothing fundamentally wrong with it. It does have the good siege, and it does have a really nice boom, like start extremely early, you could go scouts really well, but it just feels like transitioning to anything meaningful is a bit slow, especially if you're trying to go something like, you know, their economy is good for going like Arbalast if you had really good Arbalast, which not the best as the Mongols. Yeah, I think it's just definitely an odd pick. I will. GG. We're going to go. Oh, actually, the achievements. Forgot those existed. Feanor definitely killed a lot more units. Yeah, lots of mangonels as well in the mix. That was quite a lot of damage done. Well, Brins do have arguably a better boom. He did have a better boom than Feanor. I don't really know what he was doing because he was going scouts, fast up into scouts. Added only 1 TC. I mean, I think maybe he did try to invest in taking the map control. That's something I could think of. Which, you know, probably would have worked if he managed to get a few lucky mangonel shots and probably gone for the forward pressure. I think that might have been the plan. Then there would be no need for 3 TC, you could just up really fast and then with 2 TCs. That's pretty well played from both players. So everyone new, how are you doing today? Just, you know, if I seem tired, it's because I fucking am. I worked 9 in the morning to 9 in the evening yesterday, and today I worked all morning and I'm just dead. But glad we got some good games. So let's just go into the second game. I'd rather not have an intermission this early. Alright. Slavs and Celts, 2 quite good civs. Celts maybe a bit on the lower tier side, of course, Slavs being maybe like... I don't think anyone would really rate Slavs outside the top 5. A lot of people would rate them maybe 3 or 4, depending on how you enjoy playing. Celts, I know personally that Milker and Feanor would rate Celts very, 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 like, extremely high. So, quite good civ picks. Definitely enjoying it so far because we're getting some unusual matches with civs that people feel quite comfortable to play with. My English today is just generally quite poor. You'll notice that from time to time if I mix up words. That's just, it's reality. Gotta deal with it. So Celts against Slavs on arena map. I think Slavs can definitely have a bit of an advantage, especially if they try to attack early with something like maybe a smush. They could probably, like, they can most certainly overwhelm. You could easily win map control with Slavs. I think that might be what we see here. Celt player probably not going to go for map control, maybe a straight boom. If a Celt player does something really, really fast, like a quick 3 TC into either Halb or Champ, Onager or something, maybe Ram actually, might be a little bit stronger, then Slavs probably gonna have a hard time defending that, but no Feanor probably like mass longswords or something Castle Age, you never know what's gonna happen. Looking at the maps here, we see an outside second stone for Feanor and a safe main stone. Being Slavs, you're probably not too concerned with that. Against Celts, I mean, Celts can always do that stuff like the very fast Pike Mango. That's quite a devastating build order if you want to delay a civ really quickly. Of course, for Slavs, if you stop them from booming but make them spend their wood on defensive structures like, I don't know, stables, maybe Siege Workshop, mangonels, then they're not adding farms, they're not adding TCs, they're not booming. That may be a good way to stop the Slavs as the Celts by doing fast Pike Mango. But of course, then you need to take the map control, you need to take the relics and make your advantage, start adding TCs and boom behind that. So, you know, still maybe not so important, but a castle can really stop that kind of thing. Golds though, these are quite lovely golds. These games were played unrated and the records were sent to me. I won't be making the recs publicly available, but I'll be giving them to KC Arion in case he wants to cast them on his YouTube channel. But aside from that, they're pretty exclusive. A little bit varied to boom at the back if he intends to. But yeah, the gold's quite nice. I think Feanor's map is decently safe, especially this. That's quite a comfortable wall off. Nothing forward that you can wall out just by doing some quick walling off to defend. Speaking of good maps though, a deceptively bad main gold. Deceptively, of course, because there's a second gold here and an extra gold here. So I always feel like if a civ has a strong advantage, they kind of waste it if they try to go all in to deny your resources when you have so much in the back. So I think that's quite a good thing for this player's map. Main stone, really safe, especially important to the Celts. It's I feel woads are more important than they should be in Slav vs Celts. I mean, Slav champions are really nice and all, of course they have the bonus to spam enough of them. As well as just generally being, you know, quite strong when you get the Drazina tech. But just a bunch of woads, split formation, they create so fast from the castles. You'd only need, you know, 2 maybe 3 castles to mass quite good woad army. They're very strong units. And you can really destroy champions. And of course siege will die in the mix as well. So what does that really leave Slavs with? I mean, they do have the Boyar, they do have the Cavalier. Boyar is not really practical under any circumstances, it's just really expensive and slow to create. Elite is quite expensive, I believe, for the Boyar. We never really get it, so. That coupled with, I mean, they do have Cavalier, but if you mass enough woads, which is actually quite easy to do, Cavalier don't last too easily. But of course, Slav economy is always going to be ahead enough that they can mass those units enough to maybe win, so. It's going to be interesting what we see. But yeah, good golds and a good main stone. Quite a lot of back area to boom here as well. Getting some good back areas, none of that like square base just coming out of the wood line and no back area pish. I would have suggested to play on the Voobly Arena seasonal map, but it's not ready yet. If you subscribe to the Voobly Arena seasonal mod on Voobly, then as soon as it's updated for the summer, you'll automatically get the update. So I'll be looking for people to playtest that map. I'll probably be hosting some matches on it just to see how it goes. It's going to be exact same map as the spring, but graphically different. 27+2 here from Feanor. It's quite late to the gold there, and maybe you might not have 200 in time, you never really know. But, you know, unusually fast up from Feanor. You'd usually expect 28+2. Of course, farms do work a bit better, and he does have 4 of them, so it's almost makes it worth it. 26+2, which is kind of standard for a boom, but 2 on stone. Is this going to be like some kind of 4 TC? Or is this going to be go on stone early and then sell stone top and then just have at least villagers on stone so you can build the castle to defend against a smush or something if that occurs? Actually, yeah, I think that's probably what's going to happen here. Or at least the thinking behind it. I'm not entirely sure.
Да, аз готова.
7 on wood. That's interesting. Pretty usual scouts from one of the brothers. They both always go it. Again, this walling, I absolutely love it. The woodline, I am going to say is a little bit sketchy though. Perhaps stone walling here, since he's on stone, might be maybe along here to here. Oh, but not scouting extra gold in the back. That could be costly later on. Need scout though, of course he has. He has okay scouting information, knows where his opponent is, and luck and managed to pick off 3 relics right away. Feanor on the other hand does share basically the same scouting info. I don't even know where a scout is. There is. So what is going to be the plan here? I am thinking some kind of 4TC boom. Maybe not, maybe just trying to prepare by having the stone. Either way, maybe booming against the Slavs not the best idea. I do think the Celts do have a better late game if they manage to get to that point. But Slavs still full boom, they'll be there before you, they'll have whatever they need before you, even if you had the better late game. Two TCs being thrown up basically immediately. It's a decent number of farms to have when you go to feudal, which is quite nice as Celts having the wood bonus. I do think Celts are pretty mid tier though. Like they're probably like tier 3 to 4 in the transition there. I'd say Slavs are definitely S tier. There's just no doubt about Slavs being top 3 in my mind. The only other two being Aztecs and Teutons. But I'm assuming those were banned as well. GoldenEnd, are you still in the stream? Because I'm curious as to what civs were banned. Ah yeah, here we go. Cheeky 4TC boom. That could definitely put you ahead, especially the Slav player only 3 TCs, and at this point Melkor's only getting up second TC while 4 TCs are already up here. It's all going quite well on this end of the map. Of course, 5 relics for the Slavs might be a little bit of advantage. Of course, Feanor might even be up quicker. He might be able to start denying his main gold, and having 5 relics at the same time, having the second gold in the back and the extra, maybe not quite enough. But still not scouted, and scout is lost. Oof. Feanor picking up at least 1 relic. He's going to be able to get them all, of course. There's no military buildings to produce anything to even prevent that from GoldenEnd. He is rocking ahead in the villagers. Having 8 villager lead at this point even is pretty significant. That's a good 20% more economy at this point. I'm going to speed this one up just a little bit just because I feel the castle age is going to be on the slower side. No real engagements. We're seeing a 30C coming up for Feanor. Got to be on the gold, he's not going for the stone right away, which is acceptable. GoldenEnd keeping his TCs running quite well. This is quite a nice boom. I'm always impressed to see something like this. About 11-12 depending villager difference now. It's actually getting quite exponential considering both players are kind of just booming. 5 relics definitely does not make up for that. Feanor didn't go light cav, he wasn't planning on fighting the map control. He's getting wheelbarrow though quite early. Stone mining coming in for GoldenEnd, he's already quite heavy on stone still. Gonna be interesting to see what he makes of this. Probably just going to go to Imp and just go full woads. Siege Workshop coming up for Feanor, he's gonna be able to harass here. And if he gets 1 monk forward, what can GoldenEnd do to stop? Oh no 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 no. Please, for the love of God, no. Don't let this happen. Sharon, don't go into the light. Oh boy. That's devastating. I don't even know where to begin. That is some really nice pressure. 1 single gram is causing this whole chain reaction for this entire area to just fall apart, really. Siege Workshop's probably going to go down, but of course we might see some wood raiders coming soon. Neither player is up, but Feanor is getting handcard, GoldenEnd's getting scaling on armor. I need to quickly double check here. No handcard for GoldenEnd yet. So the stone wall's coming up. This is going to be kind of defended. Redemption for the Slav player. Okay. But the thing is, chain barding armor, looks like Feanor's going to invest fully into the castle age. He's going to be able to mask quite a lot of knights here. Adding a lot, well, adding one more staple so far, but he's probably going to start adding more. He's adding in a lot of siege in the mix. Normal scorpions are not going to do much against. Oh, but GoldenEnd's amount of food has really dropped, especially since this area here, all these farms getting denied and pushed. No chance for wood raiders. He's going to add pikes. Of course, maybe not the best choice against the scorpions. A few monks is going to be able to convert them as well, which is not the ideal solution. Monks might be able to get sniped here though. Monk for a pikeman, not a good trade. I think with a little bit of micro, GoldenEnd might be able to keep guys in TC, snipe the monks, maybe fight off the Mangonels and villagers. He has no KM out of pikes, but not enough. Feanor advancing to the Imperial Age. Okay. He's going full Monk Mango here with 5 relics. Of course, he has the gold to afford that. Lots of scorpions already. Yeah, lots of scorpions. 2 Siege Workshop now. What can stop this? Well, possibly a castle here. Feanor is going to be up first, but a castle here would be quite... Maybe here actually, that would be a little stronger. Can that go up though? It's going to be a difficult one. Perhaps a GoldenEnd sneaked some out back here. He might be able to come up behind. Oh, the 2-for-1 Mangonel, the 3-for-1, the 4-for-1. That's nice. But all the spears have just died. There is no castle here. Maybe he places the castle here, does some quick walls, and just come behind him with a Mangonel and some pikes. But it's definitely looking like it's probably going to be a complete disaster. It's working good. GG on Imp, yeah. GG on Imp. I need to stop saying these things right before they happen. Yikes, that was some game. Looking at the bases here, Feanor is still in 3 TC at home, but he did add one on the second stone of GoldenEnd here. Taking away a stone would prevent him, even if he managed to come back here, definitely would have prevented GoldenEnd from having as many woads in the future. Oh, it's not good news. Quite hard to beat, but of course adding a lot of scorpions is a really smart decision from the Slav player, can't deny that. I think Slavs is a better civ. I think GoldenEnd played the Celts the best he probably could have in this matchup. I don't think it's going to be ever easy for Celts to beat Slavs that easily. 112 ultra high for GoldenEnd. He did have a much better boom, but he was at just a very vulnerable spot when Feanor decided to try and attack. That castle was just unfortunate. Quite a lot of units lost, which was decent bit villagers, mainly pikes. So I think we're just going to go straight into the third game. I don't want to have this going on for too long. So here we have tunes were not global banned. What? What? GoldenEnd, embrace your inner clown. Start banning actual clown civs. Please. Feanor as the Teutons, one of the strongest civs in AoE 2 when it comes to arena. They are rated second on my arena tier list on many of the other players. Melkor was part of it, Dracond, Metal, Stefan, all the good players. Tunes was at least top 3 for every player. Terror as well. It's extremely... It's going to be extremely difficult for GoldenEnd to be able to stop the Tunes, especially as Italians. Italians do have some rather nice options. The Condo might be viable to them quite early on. That's about the only thing I could really think of though. Of course they can't go monks against tunes. Italian's great at smushing. They get up really fast, they have good monks. Of course that's not only to get to Castle Age, that's to also get to Imperial Age. They can they have the Genoese against cavalry. I don't think Genoese is ever effective just because it takes too long to get a large mass of them and get them fully upgraded, getting them elite. So I never really go Genoese myself. But you can see them against tunes, so it's really difficult because they do have the Siege Onager as well as the Ironclad tech, which makes them quite resistant to melee. So, you know, Italian Cavalier, Italian Hussar, it's not going to do too much to hull Onager simply because the Onager will kill half the units Italians can make. The Onagers can't even really be converted. And the Halberdier will kill any cavalry that the Italians can make. So it's pretty difficult. I think condos might be fast enough to be efficient. Maybe if you did some kind of like 2TC stuff or some extremely fast 3TC stuff. If you know that your opponent is probably going to do what the brothers always do, which is not have a straight fast boom, they will always, you know, delay a little bit just to get monster up and get all 5 relics after going scouts every game. Or maybe even archers, depending on civs. So if you do really fast 3TC, go into condos right away, you might be able to flood them before they could even really get much military up. That might be an option, but that's the only option I could think of. No Italian combination is all that strong. I mean, they do have the HC BBC, but of course, tunes can always go cavalry, and if you expect them to go scouts anyway, lots of Castle Age Knights probably going into Cavalier. It's always going to be a problem. Also, hello to the people just joining in chat. Don't forget, do exclamation mark raffle, you must also be a follower, otherwise you will not win. My bad, my earphones unplugged themselves. I was trying to find them. So here we are, looking at the maps, looking at Feanor's map. Main gold, not so great, but second gold, nice and safe. As tune players, maybe you don't want to really go for castles or that kind of thing. You don't really need stone. I mean, you could always add DTKs, you could always add trebs. Fasted monk treb is my personal favourite strategy, is the tunes. And that's just simply because I love doing it. I love going monks. I'm very much a monk person myself. He's probably not going to go in this case though, it's not their usual strategy. Not building a house. Is he going to get housed? If he does, I'm going to laugh. Oh. Where was the house that just got built? Maybe that one just wasn't showing. I'm a bit confused about that. Anyways, as I was saying, his map, not so bad. He does have main gold here. Oh, second gold at the back as well. Lots of room to boom. This is actually a pretty damn good map. It's always easy to enclose it off. That's always quite good. I mean, you could even fit your whole base right now in here, so that's quite nice. The main stone may be a little bit catchy, but of course you're not really needing it too much. The second is more than enough as students. 3 on gold. Why 3 on gold? Archers? Nah, no way he's going archers. Unless he wants to buy food to up or some. You know, I'm not sure. I don't know why he would go 3 on gold if he's not going for archers or probably monks. He's adding more farms, so most definitely not monks. Looking over at GoldenEnd's map, no stones really. If the Tune player puts on any pressure, at least like we saw last game, then this main stone is going to be kind of screwed before there's any chance of late game, well, early game Genoese. Probably, hopefully we see archers. We see only 2 on gold. He's going to keep adding villagers gold though. He has a mediocre amount on wood. I guess we are going to see archers. But I am still just a tad confused. Adding a couple to gold now. He won't be able to make archers on the way up, but they'll be fine. Actually, maybe he will be able to, because Italian, bit less gold. He should be able to afford an archer even. Welcome Blacksmith from the Tune player. I just can't tell what strategy is going to go with going on gold that early. Especially with only 9 on wood. If anyone has any idea what Feanor might be doing here as the Tune player going 5 on gold this early with this many farms, which means he probably is going to smush, then let me know what your thoughts are. GoldenEnd probably just going to crossbow map control. I don't know, he's adding a bit much to gold for that kind of thing. Maybe he wants to put some pressure on, get Forward Seas Workshop up, get some pressure on the Tune player before it gets too late game where Tune players kind of win out. I do think I like Italians the same like I like Incas and Malians, kind of jack of all trades, except Malians and Italians are kind of masters of none, particularly Malians, but Feanor winning the scout fight again. He is the host. Well, I believe GoldenEnd was host for the first game and Feanor was the host for the following games. That is when he was explaining to me why the first one they did as match stats. Is he gonna go? Is he gonna do what I think he's gonna do? Is he gonna try some kind of fast hit monks? If he is, that's just crazy. But it's a good kind of crazy. Is he gonna push with siege? Okay. Okay. I don't really understand this move to have this many farms when you're going to smush and be up that a little bit later. But perhaps he wants to just go very fast imp. He wants to smush maybe a little bit late to do damage, but he could easily transition that into something a little bit stronger. Siege tower. Yes! Here we go. Finally. The dream. Don't let your memes be dreams. This is what I wanted to see. This is exactly what completes me. This is the most important thing in AoE 2 right now, this unit. And he's just scouting with it. GoldenEnd, you have made me proud as a clown. You have no idea how happy this makes me. Of course, as soon as this ram hits, he knows he's getting attacked. What can you do? Well, I mean, he's got quite a good wall off here already. He could easily just complete this, get a Mangonel behind here, a couple of expos. He already has bodkin arrows, so the bunk's not going to be too much of a problem with that many crossbows. Maybe add an... maybe get a little bit heavier on the gold, add a second range. But he's in now. Now, actually, a little bit later. And, wow. Feanor, no woodline anymore. If he goes that way. He hasn't gone that way though. Feanor buying wood, selling food, probably add a scorpion. No, just a Mangonel. Mangonel's fine. I mean, TC is going to go up, but at the same time he's going to lose a lot of villagers in the process. Oh, he's finally cancelling to get Loom. And GoldenEnd runs. Oh, the kills he could get, he's probably going to get maybe 4 before the TC goes up. Oh, but the not the misclick, but the misfiring of the crossbows there. Ah, that's really nice. Of course, GoldenEnd does have 3 villager advantage now. But the thing is, 3 villager advantage. He's not going to be able to take too much more of this wood line to be moved off. He's now over here. He seems to be okay. He's going to try to defend at home, I'd imagine, maybe add a monk or 2 just to get even 2 converts is enough. But he's down here, he's going to be able to take out the range, and the thing is, he has at least 1 crossbow of his own against GoldenEnd's, what, 2? The monks in here are going to be very, very helpful. In this whole deal, the monks have, you know, the monks haven't really stopped the gold economy, it's not been too damaged. Of course, he did spam build with those soldiers. GoldenEnd's going to be up in the second TC soon, but a little bit later than Timo, to the point where the villager advantage he just managed to gain himself is not going to be there. All these buildings here stopping the Mangonel getting in a decent position, which is always nice. Have Mangonel come out behind here, fight around the TC. It's always a nice move to have. And RIP Mangonel. Ah, that sucks. So Feanor does have a monk here. He might be able to even get a convert. 2 there with high HP. 2 that are pretty much dead. 3 TCs even. He's just casually pulling off into 3 TCs after this. What a lad. He should be able to get a conversion here. If he can get at least 1 crossbow, adds his repertoire a little bit. He's actually got this monk. No, he's moving that way. Damn. These crossbows gonna get converted? 3 of them did. 3 of them's definitely a decent addition to the army. Imagine having 3 of those against 3 of these. You've only got then 4 left against the monks and the siege that's about to come out. At least I hope Mangonel's about to come out. Yeah, soon, soon. Box formation there, not something you see every day. Villager count wise though, Feanor, oh my god, Feanor has not been making any villagers as TCs. Against the 2 TCs, soon to be 3 constantly running from GoldenEnd. Feanor has these TCs simply just for the defense. And the, not quite the 1 TC push aspect, but the push aspect from GoldenEnd. It didn't really get raided. The crossbows were here when they got converted. It's mostly monks that went down, but maybe I just missed a lot. Happens all the time. 1-for-1 Mangonel trade and probably a few crossbows going to get converted here. We're looking at 5 ES, what, 10? 12? 12. Feanor's just not running the TCs though. I think his original plan was to imp really, really fast. That's why he added all the... No, GoldenEnd is quite a good arena player. He just hasn't played in quite a long time. So the talent player could always click up quicker. He's going to start adding in light cap to deal with the monks. That is perfectly okay to do when you've got the crossbows to snipe basically any pikes that might be around, including the monks. But if crossbows are already your counter, why are you adding scouts? Because obviously, you know, the Mangonels shouldn't be too much of a worry. I mean, I guess fair dues, but light cap's probably going to cost you a little bit much. Only now redemption though. Feels a little bit late. Might have saved a lot of heartache earlier if he managed to get some converts on some Mangonels. And he's backing off because he sees Garrison. He wants to 2 Mangonels though. If he and Garrison at the same time lands on the monks, that's a few monks dead. Not enough to be worth it though. Actually, yeah, he's gonna get a couple more as well. Oh, that's devastating. But 4 Mangonels now, 5 crossbows, and a few monks. Just needs to keep adding in the monks. Look at the farming eco though. Farming eco is not too spectacular from GoldenEnd. Can he even afford light cav? Not even close. I think this is quite a nice fish in the tune player, but he has made 10 villages in the time that GoldenEnd's made about 25. And he still has a lot more food eco, surprisingly. There's about as many farms running. I guess maybe he just added the rest just purely for defense, and he's only running the one, keeping a 1 TC. My favourite Arena expert was Taff. I lie. Buying 100 stone. Is he gonna add a back TC? Maybe on the gold? Maybe try to get more farming eco, but he doesn't really have the wood either at this point. He does have some nice safe secure wood though. He has a decent amount of army. I think he's probably gonna have like a one ditch attempt where he's gonna run at it with all the army he can make, and if he doesn't have army at the end of it, he's gonna GG. Feanor now adding in economy is actually going to try and run these TCs. He is 16 villagers behind, but I can certainly change this. TC goes down, a few villagers go with it. So many farms denied. Of all the mangonels, GoldenEnd decides to try and pick a fight with this one. Don't know why I can't speak today. Ah, he's trying to bait the monks. That's why he's not aiming for the mass. Scorpion's always going to be helpful, but scouts and not light cav is a problem. They're just too easy to snipe at this point. Yeah, they're just going down for the monk, even get a kill on the monks, and that is all the army cleared up. This is GG from GoldenEnd, I assume. Now he's going to have another wave of it. For the cost of just 2 scouts, he could have researched light cav. Shame. But to be fair, the monks are not the problem at this point. It's really just the amount of siege, especially the scorpions. GoldenEnd is really suffering here with the lack of production buildings, and of course, with redemption. Yeah, I don't see a single ram though. If this was Melkor's coaching, we'd clearly see siege rams. You know the drill. And that convert there, that seals the game. Yeah, GG right after that convert. Just killing all the villagers, repairing that TC. Nothing stopped this just coming in and wiping this out. There's even no protection on the main gold here from GoldenEnd. Saying gold in the back and confined to this area, maybe not quite enough. It is a decent sized back area, but the military production building's not too good, and the lack of farms. They went with still living villager advantage to GoldenEnd. So we're going to go on a 2-minute intermission. So I will see you in a couple. You're just to be back. As a wise German once said, I don't really know. Good beer. So far this is 0 GoldenEnd, 3 Feanor. Hopefully we see a win for GoldenEnd, so this isn't a clear and sweep. Let's just jump straight to game 4. Okay, Franks vs Slavs. Again, why were neither of these 6 global banned? Franks is pretty up there, you know, towards top 5. Just gotta double check what these comments are. Ah, that's interesting. Okay. This match was played unrated again. Let me just open OBS. I don't know why it closed on me there. So what do we have for the maps here? GoldenEnd has these Slavs. Now he has finally a god tier civilization he decides to pick. Of course it is a very good civ on Arabia, so it's not a problem to consider them good on Arena as well. If you're just kind of on Arabia and you're kind of assuming good civs or good civs all around. Which I'm assuming he would have been okay with the Aztec ban, but the Teutons probably threw him off. It's really hard to beat Teutons on Arena. 2 stones, incredibly safe. As the Slavs again, not all too important against the Franks. Again, maybe not that important. But, you know, actually indeed, 3 stones. That is the one of these is the extra. I'm assuming that's the extra over there, and this one here is the secondary. Lots of stone. I guess maybe you could consider booming with it, but he doesn't always have to. Main gold, not so good. Both second golds outside, not ideal. This is somewhere where you have to play really aggressive. Lots of scout play, maybe even to knights if they go for something to counter it. I guess Franks would also probably go scouts into knights. This is one of the brothers, of course, they always do the same shit every game. Feanor going for the Boer 1 villager earlier just simply because it's a bit further away. Second gold outside, second stone outside. Josh, if that's what you're implying, that's exactly what I said. So, a little bit of lag there. Oh, the gold's in the back though. He has a decent-ish main gold. It's not so ideal. It could easily be raided from front pushes here. Not the best, but it's okay. Main stone, nice and safe. Especially good as Franks. You can always castle push if you wanted to. Defensive castle against a smush, that kind of thing. A little bit of back area, not too easy to boom in this, whereas over here there's definitely a lot of room for a mill with a bunch of farms around it. This is a little bit more tight. But this gold is somewhat accessible. You'd have to probably stick the mining camp there and lock a few villagers in to make it worthwhile. Unless you locked like a couple of villagers over here, a couple here, and mining camp right there. To delete someone else's messages, just click on their name and click ignore, and they're deleted forever. So yeah, half decent map here, pretty good in fact for a Frank player. Frank's always top civ for many reasons. Not I wouldn't say they're quite S tier or tier 1 if you like to start your tier lists at 1 as the best, like some kind of logical person for a change. Then they're not quite that tier, they're just the tier before that. But they have a really nice tech tree, they have a lot of good units and they have a lot of good counters to what enemies would make against those units. For example, they have the throwing axeman, which is now extremely strong. It's not too bad against cavalry, but it definitely does melt camel civs. It kills pretty much any infantry civ. Bit weak to the siege, but of course Franks, they do have the half decent siege engineers bomber cannons. Those are always good. They also have the cheaper castles to mass a lot more trebs if they want to do something against, you know, maybe some mass trebs to kill some bomber cannons. Not always practical, but you know, it's good enough siege. So yeah, it's quite nice to be Franks for that kind of reason, but also again, if you want to go the cavalry route, you have a good economy to start off. The berry collection bonus is a quite hefty eco bonus to up quite fast. Then you have the free farm upgrade bonus. That definitely does come in handy, especially when adding a lot of farms early on. As soon as you hit feudal age, just mass the farms. And then when you hit castle age, you're going to have no problems whatsoever when it comes to food and a bit of wood when farms start to run out. Not a problem. That kind of economy, a little bit of wood, a lot of food. I mean, it definitely helps to open with the scouts. Transition to the knights that you don't need bloodlines for because they have the HP bonus on the knights. Easy to take map control with that kind of thing. I mean, Frank monks even aren't too bad against units. They do have the kind of text you would want, like Sanctity. They just don't have Redemption or Atonement, so they're of course bad against Monks or Siege. But, you know, if you're against something like maybe Elephants in the post-imp, adding in a few Monks, it's not going to be too bad. You could always get yourself some block printing and maybe Illumination to help you out with that. Feanor is going 27 plus 2, quite a lot on wood. He's probably going to go scouts. He's probably just trying to save the... well, of course he's saving wood because he's not adding farms now. He's going to wait till he's up. He does have foreign berries, so he's going to have a good food economy even if he's got like half these soldiers working on stragglers. GoldenEnd is also going to go scouts. He has quite a lot on wood. That's a good, what, 9? That's 4 there and 5 there. Yeah, 9. 9 is... you could always go for 1 more if you wanted to. But 26 plus 2, yeah, you want to keep it a little bit conservative at that point. Fairly standard play. I like his quite fast up into scouts. Although it depends how he falls off on them, which is going to be the interesting part. Feanor with no outside scouting at this point. He's probably just waiting until he ups to leave his base. GoldenEnd getting some half decent scouting, he's going to be able to scout, what, 2 relics so far? 3 if you include the one from his gate, in fact. He just needs to go over the side, scout the rest of the relics, start putting on the pressure. Upping, there we go, there's stable, there's blacksmith. Exact same thing from Feanor. I don't understand the rapidly building the blacksmith though. I suppose maybe just because he can, he's got the villagers spare because he's adding the farms now, he's in feudal. Free horse collar is always a good upgrade, but then especially free heavy plough when you're trying to run a good economy. For example, add a lot of farms to go knights when you're in Castle Age. That's always a good thing to add. Franks, of course, they do have Halberdier, they do have Hand Cannoneer as well. They also have Champion. Champion, Hand Cannoneer, and Throwing Axes are, you know, some of the best counters towards Halberdiers, which someone would make against you if you're making your cavalry. You're making your Cavalier, in some occasions Paladin, depending on what your economy is like and how undisturbed you've been. So that's going to be an interesting one to see. There is no draft, it is each player global bans 3 civs and then hidden free pick. So there's 6 civs banned in total. For both players. I'm going to speed this one up a little bit because we're going to see some scout play, but I want to start seeing these interactions here. There we go. Both players are cocky enough to take the scout fight because they know they're going to win. Spear from GoldenEnd though. Interesting addition. Getting a few hits as well. Of course the Frank scouts are going to be better here. I think Feanor tried to bait that a little bit, but he didn't manage to do it successfully. A light calf probably going to come in. No knights. Of course, maybe he's assuming the slot player's going to invest a bit more in spears. Going scouts and the spear this heavily, you kind of assume they're probably trying to secure the map for forward if they're investing that heavily into it. So maybe he's expecting monks, that kind of thing. Of course, adding in knights will prevent that kind of forward. And knights are a lot better against these spears than the light cav would be. Kind of curious to see what the relic's taking here though. Slavs don't need as much gold to be able to beat the Franks. They could always go Halb plus Onager, and then Franks have to do some kind of expensive combinations to counter that. But of course it's going to be difficult for a Slav player who doesn't go heavily on stone early, which, you know, we might see now. It's going to be difficult for that kind of play to be able to beat Frank castles if they're going for Halb Onager. Perhaps he might just go straight for Cavalier. And Franks might struggle against that if the Slavs could just outmass them with their stronger economy. I feel this is going to be quite a key fight though. I wonder what we're going to see. if a single knight gets converted, then that's going to be fun. But actually, a lot of these scouts are just going to get cleared up. No, Feanor's actually done quite a good job of running with this. Interesting. He gets light cav as well as going for the knights. I'm actually okay with that. It's quite a nice decision. GoldenEnd does manage to snag one relic, and he could easily snag another one. He doesn't need to keep investing in map control, but he definitely give Feanor a little bit of advantage with the knights. Of course, Slav economy advantage, it definitely does start to shine at this point. This many farms running at 15% faster. Just quickly double check my numbers are right, because I don't do numbers, I just do it by feel. That's gonna get me to jail for saying one day. Boom wise, they're pretty much identical, only a couple of villagers in it. And both players are on 3 TCs. Only one knight was converted. I'm a little bit curious at how this one's going to turn out. Is he going to be able to snag this? And yeah, he can just straight up snag it, but he does have his base open at this point. If he doesn't get... Oh, no, 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 no. No, no, no. That's not good. But Feanor's not going in. What? This is madness. This is Sparta. But seriously. Wow. If he didn't notice, that would have been crazy. Although then again, Feanor's just giving 0 fucks at the moment. Please TC, please TC. No, mining camp. Oh well. Boom wise though, we are seeing pretty equal villager counts. Nothing too special going on at the moment. They're still just kind of keep the map control, trying to get in the middle. Feanor does have access to one more relic, which he should be able to get soon. Try to take another central engagement. Lots of knights in the sub player. Is he going to be able to just keep adding knights and push this away? Wheelbarrow forging. Wheelbarrow maybe a little bit late, but forging gonna make the knights quite a bit stronger. He already has more than enough. I think maybe another 2 knights have been converted so far. I'm just curious to see if the villager's walling herself in. Adding in more monks on the front player. I think he's just going to keep adding in monks. Keep converting some knights if he can. As I said, Frank monks, they're not the worst when it comes to converting units. Of course they can't convert siege or other monks, but when it comes to converting units, they're definitely, you know, perfectly fine. They have every upgrade. More stables coming up for Feanor as well. He's going for currently triple stable where we already see. Am I blind and just not able to see the 3rd stable? Ah yeah, 2 right there, 3rd one there. 3 stables from both players, both making knights, but of course we see a little bit of military advantage from GoldenEnd. More monks though from Feanor, which can definitely easily turn fights. This castle will go up though, even if this fight ends up equal, maybe 1 or 2 knights left to try and deny his castle, which of course is not happening. Castle doesn't deny any particular resources, but it's going to be quite nice to have a good forward pushing point, especially 2nd gold I guess is a decent denial. Lots of knights he could always add more at this point. Send the villagers back, he can't quite afford to make a castle. He's going to mine a camp on here, maybe TC it, maybe TC that, just start controlling the hours on the map. Managed to get some villages in, he does have a couple of monks. He's going to be Imperial first. Feanor is going to be... Feanor's clicking up, but he's going to be late to the party. He does have a castle. He might be able to afford another castle somewhat soon. Have a back castle, maybe castle here. Maybe here to hold. Now he's gone for here. I guess that's okay, it does still secure a decent area. He'll be able to win this trap war just by having more traps, not by being up to him quicker. Couple of boyars, that's not good to mix into your army composition. A Slav can always go for infantry siege, but then again it's going to be expected. They can mass more cavalier. If he imps first, then he should have a slightly better chance. Ah, he's mixing the pikemen now, that's fine. But what is Feanor going to do? Is he going to add in scorpions? Heavy cavalry? What are they called? Throwing axemen. I absolutely dropped the ball there. And all that confusion, I lost what I was looking for. I have no idea what I was just looking to look at. Ah, yeah. Franks do have heavy scorpion. I never noticed. Actually, this is quite good for Feanor. Ah, Feanor petarding. That's interesting. He's going to be able to clean this one up. But he's just going to get himself walled in. Not so good. GoldenEnd might start making a monk. Try and get it converted in there. Make it worthwhile. What? Sorry. Oh. Sorry, I just... that got me as well. Lots of cavalier raiding though. Look at the villager count dropping. It's now going to be... It's probably going to be 70 by the time he's done. Lots of help's already out though. He's paying attention to this forward. This little army from Feanor is going to try and take the trebs. No, it was just... very, very close. You didn't build this tile, it was 1. But the gate only went to here. And then this tile was free. That genuinely confused me. By the way, what were the civs that you banned? Because I cannot tell at this point. We saw Silvery already come in though, we're probably going to see Paladin coming in right away. There we go. Paladin do trade quite well against the Halberdiers if you do have a lot of gold. 3 relics, maybe not quite what I consider a lot of gold. Decent in the back though. Cavaliers still getting some raiding though. GoldenEnd's economy is looking quite weak at this point with all the dead farmers. And of course you need farmers to make. He has basically nothing running because of lack of food. Very, very, very good raid from Feanor, especially spotting that the map was open at the same time as petarding. That's very, very sneaky. GoldenEnd does have less villagers because farmers do work faster though, so you could easily just quite get back into the game. Throwing axes now coming out. Malay I can understand, Aztecs definitely understand. Byzantines... I mean I can understand it. His trip's gonna go down though. The relics definitely gonna be out of the game soon. No back monastery. I'm very unsure what Feanor would have banned. He would have banned... He wouldn't have banned mines, would he? Yeah, what can Feanor do at this point with only 1 castle? Of course he's not going to be able to research Elite Throwing Axeman, Bearded Axe, any of those techs anytime soon. He does already have Paladin, the spec Willy has not caught up yet. Monks being added in 6 trebs. What can you do to stop this? Well, he could add enough Paladin, but the thing is, there's just so many helps here. This is all finally being dealt with. Hopefully GoldenEnd decides to re-wall this, but this column is looking pretty bleak at the moment. He could easily re-BIM though. He does have decent amount of villagers, might want to add an RTC maybe out here for a little bit of more security. I'm curious as to what Feanor can go at this point. He could... If he did have back monastery, which would probably be a little bit safer, he could easily buy some stone, maybe build another castle. Try and get back into the game with that. But it's going to be quite difficult. He is moving out onto the map. He's going to try and start mining this gold. Of course, he's going to get caught off guard. He's not going to be able to really save his base too easily. He is starting to build a lot of paladins, but the light cav in the meantime, they're not going to be all too helpful. I mean, maybe try and use them to do some sniping, but he has nothing to do with these castles. He's finally getting chemistry. Lots of wood though, so you could easily get siege workshops started and bomber cannons. That might be a little bit better. I'm not sure what we're gonna see here. Yeah, that's not too good. Elite throwing axeman finally. Skill mill armor. We haven't seen bearded axe yet, have we? No, we haven't. I think throwing axemen are going to be really strong, but no Scorpion, no Onager from GoldenEnd yet. His economy is still recovering, but he does have a lot of time to do it. He does have a lot of army to just hold his position, so why not? Bomber Cannon is probably going to be coming out soon. Really need to kill that monastery. I quite like this combination, elite throwing axemen plus the bombered cannons. On just not that effective at that point. Rams would be decent to add in at the same time, but it's not a huge problem. I reckon... Oh, that's out of position though. That could be quite devastating. Already with +4 x5 on the castles decently well. If these throwing axemen get cleaned up, that's kind of the end of the game. But he does have the bomb cannons to clean up the onagers at the same time as a decent amount of throwing axemen. The halberdier shouldn't stand a chance against that. He needs to keep his cavalry alive just to maybe come around the back, do some sniping, but maybe even raid again because he did had such a good trade the last time. I think he's trying to aim to come back and snipe the trebs, but he's just completely missing and ended up fighting the halberdiers, which is not ideal. I think if the cavalier managed to kill the bomber cannon, that's kind of it. I don't see what I could do if the bomber cannons start dying and launchers just come and clean up. Again though, throwing axemen extremely strong. The was it the 12 total melee damage. Absolutely legit, as they say in the trade. I'm very sure we don't have bearded axe yet. I think 4 is the base of elite. Yeah. Feanor doesn't even need that much room for adding stables. If he has a huge food eco, he could always just keep making light cav. With chivalry, it's going to be very, very fast, so I don't think that's a problem. I like his position because I like the Civ, but I think he's going to have some huge problems just trying to beat GoldenEnd at this point. I mean, considering it, GoldenEnd doesn't have as much of an eco. A little bit lax on the farms because he was raiding, just didn't re-add them, added those were just farms. The mass trebs actually, that's interesting. What can Feanor do against the mass trebs? The bomber cannons should be able to get towards them soon, but the onagers is still a problem. Paladins are definitely sniping onagers though. Not too many throwing axes left. He's going to be able to take the light cav out of the game. Save at least one of his BBCs. I reckon anyway. Maybe not. Oh, the 2k repairs. That's almost terror stuff right there. Hussar now in BBC is down. Lots more onagers just coming in, and there's only 2 siege workshops here, and you can't afford to keep having bomber cannons. He's been taken off a stone. He has no access to this gold, no access to this gold. He does have a decent bit of gold left in the back, to be honest, but he did lose to relic control. Unless he could push back this one army now, then there's just no chance. He has nowhere left to run at this point because, well, it's all kind of taken. GoldenEnd is playing this beautifully. He picked a civ that's actually extremely good. Lots and lots of huts have just been queued up though. 120 vills, that's enough when you're Slavs. You have a huge food economy to just keep making food units with, so. 2k splits coming from the throwing axemen, but they're just taking so many hits from the hubs, even though their hubs aren't going to do too much damage to them, then, you know, enough free hits becomes worthwhile. The Hussar should be okay-ish against the throwing axes at this point. Trebs can easily go down with throwing axes, but there's just so little of them. One Treb's still alive, that castle is most definitely going to go down. Huge amounts of army here for GoldenEnd. 67 military to 17, this has got to be GG from... yeah. I need to stop updating the GGs. Really, really nice game that. Frank's absolute top civ in one of the in the hands of a player that's very, very good with them. And then again, Slav's very top civ with a very good RM 1v1 player. I reckon if we got GoldenEnd on some more games, then he would be playing Arena a bit more like he plays Arabia. So I'm going to go on to the next game now. Just straight onto it because I'd rather not wait. And Joshua was right, F11 does fix the lack of an overlay. So Celts v SD Teutons, GoldenEnd picked a godlike civ, and as I said before, the Celts, the brothers rate them extremely high. I think they're a little bit lower than where they rate them, but they definitely do, you know, they put it into practice and prove me wrong, so I'm quite happy about that. As long as you actually put in the effort and prove it, that's quite good. So what are we going to see here? I mean, that's a medium distance. Scouts is fine, crossbows is fine. Scouts maybe a bit more expected. When you're choosing, if you're going to go map control with either scouts or crossbows, if you're very close, it definitely favors crossbows. If you're quite far apart, it definitely favors scouts. So we're going to see what the maps the players have here. We always need a mod only, chat. What do you expect? Second stone in the back, second gold in the back. That's a decent bit of back res right there. It kind of makes up for him not having, not an ideal main stone, but of course it's not going to be the focal point of the attack. The gold is. The main gold's quite a bit worse. Should be another second gold somewhere. It's extra. Is that GoldenEnd second? It's basically Feanors at this point. Every player has 2 second golds. Extra golds on the map, we have one here, and we have another one in the back base of Feanor. GoldenEnd's map, not so great, but he does have a bit of back res, that might save him in a pinch. Feanor's map, not ideal second gold, not so great of a main gold. Definitely is a bit of a problem, especially if GoldenEnd does aim for the monk approach. But back main stone, always quite good if he does want to go for something along those lines of Wold Raiders against the Teutons, which might be viable. Of course, they're probably not going to go Elite Teutonic Knights, it's not too easy to go. Extra gold in the back as well as the second one here, so that's quite a lot of wood in the back. Did I just call gold wood? Extra gold and second gold in the back. That's quite a lot of gold. If anyone wants to coach me in English, I will coach you in drinking beer. That's my area of expertise. So what are we going to see here? Celts against Teutons. I am thinking World Raiders because Teuton Knights are expensive and going to be quite hard to get up. But then again, Celts don't have too much to deal with them if they do go for Teuton Knights. If they do a really nice quick boom as the Teutons and add in TKs. Of course, always opening cavalry if you do a quick 3 TC boom, maybe Cavalier. Maybe then focus on getting your stone, get some castles up. I'm thinking that really could work. Almost losing that Borb, again that instant last minute snipe on it, that's always perfect. It's a really nice micro there. I don't know what kind of builds we're going to see on Arena. I think I would say Scorps is good, but the thing is Teuton Onagers are just too good. Especially when Celts only have really melee, then you've got to deal with the Ironclad on the Onagers. I think it's definitely a possibility just because Teuton combination to beat the Celts is really expensive. But it's not unrealistically expensive, I think it's still possible to happen. I'm going to fast forward through Stargate just a little bit just because they're probably going to do the same thing we've seen the whole time. Maybe scouts from both players. Maybe he's been watching the brothers and trying to learn from them. I do like the addition of Scorps though. I think Scorps might be... Actually, yeah. Yeah, but the Celts probably aren't going to go for Celtic SOs. We're probably talking Onagers here. We're probably not going to see SO at all this game. But playing Onager on its own does beat Heavy Scorp still, quite efficiently. 24. You better build a house. You better build a house. If you don't build a house, I'm sending you to the NPL. Oh, he's building a house. There we go. Really fast build here from Feanor. We're seeing a 25+2 from the Teuton player, making really good use of that Teuton bonus. No scouts or anything. He's just going to straight 25+2 into probably a 3 TC boom. Feanor hitting Feudal first. GoldenEnd realizes it's going to be too late to hit it anyway. Might as well just get some damage on the scout. He's going to 25+2, 3 TC boom. Feanor is going to do a Cell Stone, 24+2. Not going to have the food though. Not even close. Sold 100 stone, 200 wood to buy 100 food. Ah, to think that could have just been 3 farms. To be fair, I think Melkor gets away with Paladins so often is because his map control strategy just makes them, forces people that know him to boom. And that obviously gives him a lot of time. Quite a lot of wood here from Melkor. He did up quite fast. Maybe he didn't. I just called Feanor Melkor. Quite a lot of wood here from Feanor. Maybe he did actually intend to sell 200 wood. I would have preferred to see the farms, but he does still give him quite a solid wood economy. He'd easily just keep adding the TCs. He might even do what GoldenEnd tried to do in the previous game. And perhaps we're gonna see some kind of smush from our is this a complete switch? This is what Feanor did with the Teutons. This is what GoldenEnd did with the Celts. Ah, nice little bit of switcheroo there. For TC Boom again, that does leave you in a very vulnerable state, so you have to be extremely careful when you're doing it. Still 132 stones, so I'm assuming he hasn't built a... Like, of course, can't afford to build another one. He's quite low on the wood. He did add an extra, like, 5 farms. He has lots of farms, he could easily run 3 TCs at this point, so I guess maybe he's just hoping to rely on that for a little while, just keep the food floating, and then go into add the 4th TC, but he does just see. He does just see that GoldenEnd is going for the monks and add the mangonel, so of course he's not going to add another TC. That would just be insane to stretch your economy like that. Tries to build his own siege workshop, try and defend it with, you know, maybe some mangonels of his own. A little bit of a problem for him would probably be trying to save this main gold. It's going to be quite difficult. Maybe he wants to go guard tower. Lots of stone, maybe he's going to add a quick castle even, just to defend with mangonels until he can afford it. Before we could even see GoldenEnd get redemption. I think that's definitely a possibility. Don't forget to win the giveaway, you have to be here at the end of the stream, which might be soon. This is possibly the last game if Feanor wins it. I would say I currently got my favourite on GoldenEnd right now. But yeah, it's just be following and be here at the end of the stream. And looks like we're gonna see a quick snipe of a monk. Yeah. Redemption now coming in for GoldenEnd, but the thing is, lots of stone now from Feanor. If Feanor could get a castle up in even just this general area, he's pretty safe. Maybe he would consider saving his main gold a little bit though. That's in a pretty bad area. Speaking of Feanor scouting, yes, he does know about the extra in the back. He does have the faster fire and mangonels. That's a really nice little advantage that you have as the Celts. Very, very good sniping enemy mangonels. You kill rams so much faster, you can even kill monks quite easily. And he opts to defend the gold. That's fine. Very little monks here from the Teuton player. Wards crate extremely fast. So possibly he's going to just try outmass them. I mean, I think it's a possibility. Oh, but the scout goes down at the same time, which is a little bit unfortunate for Feanor. He could probably have used the monk. The scout rather. But the mangonel's going to go down. GoldenEnd not noticing. And it's the first one to get sniped. That's unfortunate, but the thing is he still has a decent push over here. This is a good wood line and quite a few farms that could easily be denied just by a single monk standing here. I think it would probably be easier for GoldenEnd just to convert this one house and he's got free access. Actually, I'm just a little bit curious as to how he's going to try and combat this. Wood Raiders? I mean, instead of pikes, I think pikes was a little bit... it was pikes via he was Celts via Slavs, wasn't he? Slav player went for the oh my god, that reaction time. Feanor just instantly taking them off the farms and just straight up putting them on some new farms. I think that's quite nice. Don't know why he isn't converting the house though. Feanor is at a 30 villa advantage, which at this point is just, it's quite ridiculous. He won't be able to click up, but he's going to keep massing the Wood Raiders in the meantime. He needs to somehow deal with this. I think the way to deal with this when you have this kind of villa advantage is to simply attack the monks with your villagers. Or attack the rams even. Try and let the monks convert them. The monks convert the villagers and the wood raiders just come clean everything up. You'll be a few villagers less, but their entire forward is gone. So I don't see why you'd complain. And GoldenEnd went up with a 25 plus... Yeah, went up 25 plus 2. We saw quite a nice build from Feanor going up the 24 plus 2 Cellstone FC to go what would it be for TC if he wasn't being pressured. Or 3 TC with maybe castle defense at some point. Stefan Boom like stuff. Not seeing too much pressure coming out from GoldenEnd though. He's finally getting houses down. He's there we go. That's what we're looking for. A castle. A castle here is going to be really key. Wood Raiders should be able to clean up the monks. Oh, but they're running right into the TC. Oh no, no. Oh, that's so unfortunate. Oh, he's got a GG at this point. He just can't win that. Oh man, that sucks for GoldenEnd. Not a lot of monks in that smush. I think, I don't know. Maybe we should try and go heavier into the siege. Maybe he's investing too much into getting stone for another castle. And not enough on gold for the monks. Definitely not enough on gold for the monks. I think that's probably what's going on here. Not a lot of monks he can deal with the wood raiders. I don't see a single wood raider from GoldenEnd here at all. Probably, I mean that could have easily been the path and that just got him stuck in the TC's range, but you never really know. That does indeed suck though. Feanor did get heresy. Ah. I didn't see the heresy because obviously my microphone does block the spec overlay. I'll probably move it in the future, but not for now. That is an interesting 4-1 lead for Feanor. Jeez, I cannot speak today. Let's look at the achievements. Vil high by about 35 there. Bit of a relic go for GoldenEnd, of course. He did pick up 3 of the relics. Feanor just picked up a couple early. Feanor with a really fast castle time. It is like 29 seconds of idle time over a normal 24 plus 2, but can't fault that. GoldenEnd had a bit more idle time there. Feanor's so much better boom. Only 5 converting the end for GoldenEnd, that's probably the key. Celts having heresy is always quite nice. I've always seen Celt like Cav with heresy to counter monks, but I just really wasn't expecting heresy plus wood raiders. But I guess that definitely does work out in the end, as long as you have more than enough.